Okay, let's have a look at a question whereby now we're decreasing by a percentage, but we're not doing it just for 1 year. We're doing it over a series of years. In this question I put on the board, we're doing it over a series of 3 years. So it's decreasing at a certain percentage per year for 3 years. It's the same sort of idea as compound interest, except compound interest sees things increasing by a percentage over a number of years. So let's have a look at this question. The car is valued at £8,000 and depreciates. Depreciates, if you don't know, means it gets less in value. Okay, depreciate gets less in value. In value at 25% per annum. So every single year that goes by, it loses 20% of its current value. And this we're going to look at for 3 years. We need to find the value of the car after the 3 years. Okay, so let's write down value is equal to, it starts off at £8,000, okay, and then, well, after the first year it loses 25% of its value. So if it depreciates by 25%, a decrease of 25%, it's going to be a multiplication of 0.75, which is 1 take away 0.25, 25%. So that multiply by 0.75, that gives you a 25% decrease. But it goes on for 3 years. So in a similar way that we did for compound interest, if it's for 3 years, you put down now a power 3. Okay, because for the second year, it would lose 25% of its new value. And then for the third year, it would lose another 25% of its, yet again, new value. And so you'd have 3 separate calculations, and you could do it year 1, year 2, year 3 again if you wanted to, but it's very, very tedious. Just do that calculation, it'll take you straight to the answer. So on my calculator, I'm going to say 8,000 times 0.75 power 3, and you will get that its value has gone down to £3,375. And there you go. Obviously, if you were being asked what is the actual depreciation itself, you'd say, well, it started out at 8,000, it ends up at 3,375, you take the 2 figures away, and whatever the difference is, that's how much money it's gone down by, which is the depreciation over 3 years. But I wasn't asked for that in this question. Okay, I'll do one more in this short video. Let's cut a lot of the writing out. So let's say we buy, let's say a car. Let's say this time I only pay £650 for it, and it depreciates in value at, let's say it's going down at 17% per annum for 5 years. Okay, and I want to find its value after the 5 years. So find its value after 5 years. Okay. Well, you've only bought a cheap car. £650 is a cheap second-hand car. And what you'll find is it's 17% decrease in value per year, which, you know, is quite a significant percentage, to be honest. But because it doesn't start off being worth a lot of money, you'll find that you don't actually lose that much money. Whereas in the previous example, because £8,000 is quite a lot of money, a 25% increase, okay, it was a bit more than that, but it's not that much more. Look what happens, after 3 years it's gone down to only £3,375. So it's actually lost a heck of a lot in value over the 3 years. But let's see what happens to this one. The value after 3 years will be equal to, it starts off at £650, multiply it by, it decreases in value by 17%. So times by 0.83 would be a 17% decrease in value. If we're doing it for 5 years, you just simply write power 5. So we're ending up with a calculation to do, which is 0.83 power 5. I've done that first, and I'm going to times by 650 now, and you'll end up, it's £256 and 4p. So you can see that it has gone down in value over 5 years from that to that. But it's only dropped by about £400, so you've lost £400 of value. Whereas this one here was only for 3 years, and we'd lost the best part of £5,000. And it's because we obviously had a car that was worth a lot more in the first place. So old cars they don't tend to lose their value very quickly because they're not worth much in the first place. There you go. Two very simple examples of how using this power technique can really make a nasty calculation which would be very time consuming, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, and you can do it very quickly indeed to get to the answer. And obviously if you wanted to know how much the depreciation was, you'd say 650, take away that, and whatever the difference is, that's how much the depreciation would be over the 5 years. Okay, that's the end of this video.